Good evening, buddies. Welcome to Afterburner, the Calgary Flames' first back-to-back winning streak of the season. I don't know if that registers. You may be, wow, I guess that's maybe one of those things. Yeah, they have not won back-to-back games until tonight with a 4-2 win over the Nashville Predators. There's Ryan Pinder. It's Boomer. We are ready to roll this evening on Afterburner. Good to have everybody along. You know what I was going to say? I meant to text, and I'll just say it live. Jack, in my drive, I've got a little thing for Grey Eagle. I'm going to tell you what's coming up. They announced another concert coming to the Grey Eagle. I think Pinder will approve. We'll get into it. So you are, as we know, you are down in sunny California, but you found some time tonight to watch the game. When did you feel like if you were going to be maybe on Betway, and you were thinking, okay, you know what? I think the Flames are going to win this hockey game. About what point would it have been?
It's weird because it felt like it was going to be one of those games where it's like, yeah, sure, you outplayed them, but you just never really threatened. But that late Dubé goal in the second, it's like, okay, well, Saros has been good, and you don't have a lot of finishers, and so the moment the Hanifin goal goes in, and really it's the Sharangovich breakaway that leads into that, right? He doesn't finish there, but it's like, oh, that's okay. This is a brand new game, and they've been the better team all night, and you're back to even terms. You've erased a 2-goal deficit. Why not the Flames on this night?
I had it was Rhodesy, our buddy from the Hearing Loss, and in the first period when the shots are whatever it was, 13-2 or 15-3 at one point, and they were down 2-0. It was like so now we're doing this again. It's back to a year ago.
Second shot and fifth shot, both
second and fifth go in. And there again, I don't know that you look at what's Markstrom going to do on the second one. It's a decent redirect in front. Maybe he should be out. I don't know, but defensively, it looked a little horrendous. That it was going to be an easy night. It looked like for Nashville through the first 15 minutes or so.
They didn't get a lot of
the Flames were getting shots, but
it felt like
scoring chances.
It felt like a UC Saros first star Flames were never going to score enough type of night, and as innocuous as the Dubé goal sort of felt, it was like that really. You head to the room. That's the last 5 minutes of the seconds. Like, yeah, that's. Okay, you're one shot away, fellas. And you know what? We got to give him credit. We've been hard on the guy when he hasn't been right. Like Nazem Kadri continues to play his best hockey as a Flame, or at least since pre-All-Star break last year. And I think Connor Zari's had a huge part of it. That line was great. Sharangovich, 2 points. I believe his first multi-point game playing on a line with those guys. That was a group that I think helped them keep chances coming, and they shortened their bench. And the guys that got to keep playing, they were going. I liked the effort tonight. And if you don't get too early, maybe you feel like you're in control the whole way. But to come back down 2 was impressive for this group because we know they're not the most talented goal scorers or finishers.
Yeah, we'll dig into a few of those tidbits, but I see we do have it for you coming up. And now the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, we've told you about the event center. You just never know what's coming in there. Is it going to be a concert? Is it going to be some kind of a motivational speaker, a comedian? But this came out on their social today. I'm not sure what your plans are for February 23rd.
Yes.
But Ice Cube is bringing the Straight into Canada tour into the Grey Eagle Event Center February 23rd. It's about as big as it gets.
Today was a good day, as Ice Cube said.
Yeah, there's only one cube.
The Lakers beat the Supersonics. I like, very good.
Ticketmaster.ca, that's where you get all your tickets for the Grey Eagle Event Center, and keep an eye. They're going to have, I think, if you just go to their social accounts or go to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca. They will have some pre-sale stuff there for you if you want to dig in on that. It's February, it's a ways away. But I kind of like.
I like it. That's in the calendar now.
When I saw that pop up today. Let's start with the good. Nazem Kadri, you mentioned his best hockey as a Flame tonight. 8 shots on net, 1857, a goal and an assist. Sharangovich, pair of assists, 5 shots, 1749, and Connor Zary, 1850 with a helper. So he's got 3 points in 3 games. Hey, you know what? I was gonna do something cheeky on social tonight about, Edmonton has their Connor. And the Blackhawks, they have a Connor, but so do the Flames. But I did. I just did. I couldn't do it. So I mean, you talked about, is it Kadri getting those guys going, or is it those guys getting Kadri going? But we talked about it last week, and you had brought it up. You're like, I think we've got some lines here.
Yeah,
this feels like finally.
Yeah.
Now the Backlund and Coleman thing, that's always kind of been together, and we'll see when Mangiapane gets back in if there's a fit in that top line. It's maybe another guy in the top line's got to get it going. But this trio, Kadri with Zary and Sharangovich, they have a little something humming right now.
They do, and I love. It would be like we're trying to figure out why does it work, and sometimes it's just like, hey, they just look good together. They understand where each other. Like it just seems like we talk a lot about you got to play these guys till they get chemistry. I almost feel like some guys just work well together, and it's not about reps so much as like you put stylistically complementary guys around each other, and whatever it is with Zary and Kadri, they've been great. And Sharangovich, he had that blazing speed on the other side and a heavy shot. He was good tonight. He was sprung on that breakaway by Kadri, I believe, nearly tucked that one in. 2 helpers, and I think to be fair, Nazem's been the same guy he's been for 15 years or whatever, but Connor Zary has added a bunch of skill to this team. This is not a very high skill team, but everyone around him's looking good. They even started the second power play unit with his group at one point this night.
I'm surprised with Zary, and I talked about him after the game, and it's his third game, but usually it takes guys, and he's not 18 or 19. He's played American Hockey League level, but he has looked comfortable right from the start. There wasn't much of an adjustment period. He scored right away in his first game, but he's made some plays. He's holding on to the puck longer than a lot of guys do when they first get in. There's a lot to like about him.
Well, and what would it be? 2020 draft?
Because it was the boardroom draft.
Right, and we got to see the delayed reactions of everyone on their couches standing up, and then it was just camera zoomed in on Dad's shots. Crotches. Yeah, it was like everyone standing and like, oh, check out my crotch. Yeah, boy, son. Yeah, we're so happy.
Okay, God, geez. All right, great.
That was the draft. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
we were all so proud of Connor.
Yeah,
but he was a Flames guy. You felt good for him. The next year was weird. The Western League kind of started, and then it didn't, and then it did again. You were allowed to play the A because of that. And then the year after that, big injury. And it's like talking to guys like Byron Bader, it's like, man, that's a really, really costly year to lose as much time as he did. But the skill was always there. You don't pick guys like they had him in the same box as a bunch of guys from like 20 to 28 in that first round. Like that's not a plugger. That's a skilled guy.
There's going to be a few guys, I think, that come out of that draft that might surprise you in a positive way. It's that the kid in Dallas, Johnston, he was one of those guys. Wyatt Johnston, I think, went a year without playing and then didn't get a lot of eyeballs and whatever, and then all of a sudden he's an everyday guy for the Dallas Stars. So I'm for the purposes of this, with Crown Royal just over my shoulder here, with Crown Royal, it's always about being the generous guy. Connor Zary is it's awfully generous of him to get Nazem Kadri going and to inject some youth. Has he tasted a loss? He's just unbelievable, scoring goals, getting points. He's making everybody around him better. I'm sure jersey sales are flying.
Oh yeah,
it's a generous guy, that Connor Zary. It's a generous guy.
Sharangovich his first 2-point game. What a kind act.
Unbelievable. He gives and gives. Generosity lives in the small things. Doesn't need encouragement or acknowledgement. It just needs a few good people like Connor Zary, a generous guy. Crown Royal, crown everything.
Hey, we heard there was kids.
It doesn't take $1 million donation or name on a hospital wing. This is where generosity lives.
Now you're on semi-vacation. Do you not have one of those going right now?
I should. I'm getting a lot of heat about alcohol consumption. So
is that right?
Yeah.
Tell them to
all these
off.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that would come up. Yeah. Talking about Kadri and the game that he had, he makes a hell of a play on the Coleman goal, which oddly enough is our Betway highlight of the night. So it'll be a good time to see it. Get the Betway app on your phone and play along in game, before the game, whatever it is, you go to Betway app and bet the responsible way with our good buddies over at Betway. And it's a pretty, hey, UC, take the shooter, right? I got the pass. Don't worry about it. But hey, hell of a goal for Coleman. I was maybe going to rip into him a little bit too. Depending on
it was funny. Our friend that was at the outdoor game that came on our live stream, the old Barry Two Scales.
Yeah.
He was like, Coleman is just the worst. And like moments later, he's like, God damn it.
Yeah. No, I was like, you're a veteran here. I'm not going to call into question your character. And we've seen what you've done in the past, but just a little too, going through the motions for a guy that's supposed to have some leadership qualities. And then he comes out and rips one top shelf. So I guess you'll take it. Okay, so that was the good. Now the bad. Jonathan Huberdeau. So the top line, it starts with Dubé on the right side with Lindholm and Huberdeau, and then start of the second, Ruzicka moves up to the wing and Dubé goes down to the center of the fourth line and then scores not long after that. And something happens along the way where the third period comes and goes without a single shift for Jonathan Huberdeau. He finishes the night with no shots, 2 giveaways, and 14 minutes and 24 seconds of ice time. And there he is at the end of the bench. Sportsnet showed him a number of times. That's just how it's going to be when you're a high-profile guy and you get benched. It happens. Johnny Gaudreau had it happen to him last week. It kind of happened in that St. Louis game. Remember, he had sat for a good stretch. Huberdeau, I'm talking about, obviously. And then the power play came, and Huska put him out on the power play. Not tonight. It was the bench, and get used to it for Huberdeau in the third.
They shortened it up. You didn't see a lot of Walker Duehr at all tonight. Never mind the third. And AJ Greer was not often spotted either. Those are your 3 lowest minute guys. Look, there was this idea that, since Darryl was the guy before, Huska's has to be easy. It's like, no, Huska has to be the guy he's going to be as a coach. He's got 2 years. He's got some runway. Coach the way you think you should coach. And this isn't out of the blue. There's clearly been discussions behind the scenes on this, and it hasn't been the first time he's taken ice away. You can't change his salary. You can't prorate his salary to points. You can control his ice time. And how he responds will be interesting, because I think a lot of what gets forgotten in these instances, this is a human, this isn't a robot. I think he's already way too into his own head and between his own ears. I think he was last year. I think he was hopeful on a fresh start. How does he respond? And I think the coach is absolutely in the right to do it. I mean, he's not been a dynamic force out there, and now we see how he responds to this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will say that Huska was hasty or that this isn't deserved. Look, it's, and I say this. There's got to be a better way for me to put it when I say I feel for the guy, but the human element of it, and I brought it up before. He has to wonder what the hell has happened to his career.
Yeah,
because he was in Florida, was over 100 points, top 5 in league scoring, an elite player, and then comes to Calgary and it's gone. And he's tried different things, and this year it's a fresh start, and I don't think there's any discernible difference in last year's Huberdeau to this year's Huberdeau.
Might be worse.
Despite the fact you knew more about the city, you weren't sprung a deal, you knew the coach, nicer coach, the whole thing. He might be worse, is right. I just think he's got to be in his own mind and in his quiet alone times, just wondering what is going on with me. Why is it not working for me anymore?
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe some perspective is what we've seen from Kadri, who I think has played 3 good games in a row and looked a lot better.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was like we were having the conversation 2 weeks ago, like maybe he's just 33 and he doesn't have it anymore. Maybe he's just washed. And then it's like, no, there's still something there. How do we get there? I don't know. Line mates are certainly a part of it, but Nazem looks great right now. So I'm not going to say it's a lost cause for Huberdeau, but we are at 90 plus games here where it's just, there's nothing that suggests this guy had the best offensive season in the history of the league for a left winger. Literally the highest point total ever for a left winger. Luc Robitaille, take your numbers. You're not best. How? This guy?
It's hard to wrap your head around. You're right. If you have only watched Calgary Flames hockey, you would not pick him out of a police lineup for any
No,
reason. And if you, nothing. There's no analytics. There's no counting stats.
no,
There's
no, no, no.
nothing that even points towards him even pulling out of it or having fallen out of it or anything. So
Yeah,
we may hear from Coach Ryan Huska on the show here
I would
tonight,
think
depending
so. Yeah.
how things go. January 11th to 13th, we are going to Phoenix, Arizona. It is our first ever barn burner vacation. Phoenix, it's the Arizona Coyotes, it's the Calgary Flames. Second week of January, what are you going to hang around Calgary? No, you're coming with us. You're coming with us down to Phoenix. We got your flights, we got your hotel, we got your transportation to and from the game, or to and from the airport and to the game. And then game tickets to the Flames and the Coyotes at the Mullet Arena.
Oh, baby.
$14.99 per person based on double occupancy. These are the rink is small. We don't have all the tickets. We have a limited number of
small.
It's not that small. We have a limited number of these things. So get after it. Purchase your tickets at nationgear.ca. That is the website where you go. It's where you got some merch and that sort of stuff. There's going to be some Oilers Nation stuff probably on there. Just
ignore that.
Get past that and go right into the Flames Nation stuff, and you'll find the trip there. Again, $14.99, double occupancy. It is presented by Alberta Blue Cross. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross travel insurance protects your memories and more wherever travel takes you. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. For Village Honda, the road ahead, we have it's been a quiet stretch, and it will pick up here in a hurry, because it's 3-5, all of them on the road in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's the Eastern Canadian swing. You guys want a beer? That was the old ride the trains with Gully. Let's dress like it's the 1920s and have a beer on a train. This is an interesting trip. These are hot markets. There's going to be a lot of conversation about a GM and his old work. And I think, to be fair, I don't know how anyone feels about any of these teams at this point that they're going to play, including the Flames. There's a lot of what are you with these four teams that'll meet?
Yeah. Village Honda, new in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda, where vehicle pricing, all the new vehicle pricing, is MSRP. So, of course, today being Wednesday, they are off until Friday. They'll travel on Thursday to Toronto and play the Leafs on Friday, and then Saturday against the Ottawa Senators. Keep an eye on Ottawa. It's been kind of an up and down week. They've been calling for the coach's head, and Kachuk's been blasting the fans for booing and that. So it's not the best of times there. So Toronto on Friday, Ottawa Saturday, and then a couple days before they'll be in Montreal on Tuesday. So a bit of a break there before they return.
Couple days in Montreal, fellas.
See.
Hey,
Rhett says you need to go on a rager. You got to bring this team together. It's a little galvanizing at Chez Paris. Is that still open, I wonder? It's been a while since I've been to Montreal.
What is that?
But,
sort of was that one of the smoked meat places?
Yeah,
okay.
Onto that. It's so much
open face, please.
So Village Honda. Huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets, over 70 units on site, and access to more than 400 more inside the dealership group. Make Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They are definitely worth the trip. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Great partners of ours on both shows. Pinder report on Barn Burner. Afterburner, obviously, they're doing so much for us. This whole thing that we're doing, we'd love it if you'd support the sponsors. And they are an OG. They were one of the first people on. They were at day one. Anthony and everybody up at Village Honda. We can't say enough about them and their support. We have talked a little bit about Coach Ryan Huska. I see that the post-game comments have come in. Let's hear what the Flames head coach had to say about tonight's 4-2 win.
We didn't see Jonathan Huberdeau on the ice in the third period. I'm curious as what went into that decision.
I thought Hubie had an off night, and when we went into the third period, we wanted to try to get a little bit more flow, and we went with the guys we felt were going, and that's pretty much all it came down to.
How did he take that?
He's fine. it's not anything anybody wants to go through ever, but hey, at times it's going to happen. You're not going to have your A+ game every night. And as I said, we are trying to find a little bit of a rhythm and flow to our game. And when at that point, we went with the guys we thought were going the best.
Was it an effort thing at all, or was it just?
No, it's just, yes, off night. It happens.
So there you go. He knew he was going to be asked about it, and I think that's the high road.
That's Ryan Huska.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to get into public spats. He's not going to take runs at people. He's made his point, but he's going to back his guys in the public facing spaces. And this is all calculated, thought out, and planned. He's not thinking, oh boy, Huberdeau, wow, what's happening here? I think this is if this guy's not playing well, what do we do? And this is a plan. Okay, this is my plan. If that situation arises, it arises. And to your point, against St. Louis, they shortened him up until a power play in the second after he was benched for a while. Like, I think this is a very methodical coach here. And he's saying all the right things. He's not starting any sort of media firestorm here.
No, and you know what? The most critical he was, I guess, was after that St. Louis game where he talked about effort. It's the one thing you could control, and there was no effort. He was really upset about it. And this here, I don't know what else. Again, what else is he going to say? He's not going to torch him. Maybe some coaches would.
Yeah, Daryl would, right? Daryl did last year.
Yeah, Torts probably would. There will be some guys, but again, this is. I mean, how many games into this season are there?
The 12.
It's a little early, I think, to flamethrow your highest paid player. You have to hope, maybe in vain, but you have to hope that somehow this player starts to contribute for you.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's asking, just to sort of, I guess, reframe what everyone's thinking. No one wants, or no one expects to see a 115-point player, but if by all means you wanted to flirt with a pointer game, that would just feel like found money at this point. And even that, it's like, whoa, I don't even know. Like, it's find a way to grab the rope and pull it in your team's directions. Because, like, I saw it in the first period. It was like, what was it? Almost a 2-on-1. Someone back checks hard. It's a 3-on-2. And Huberdeau's got the puck coming on the right. And you're like, there's no way they get a shot here. The way he's going, and sure enough, this little backhand sauce hits the stick of a defender. They don't get a shot. And it's
you
like,
had Zadorov. Zadorov was the high guy coming in, and he tried to backhand it to him.
And he's always he knows where the open guys are. He loves to pass, but it's just the way he's been going, those aren't connecting. And no one's surprised when he's looking pass. And so it's just like coming in, odd man rush, you're like, it's on 10 stick, they're not getting a shot here. And that's an off night. That's a bad night. It's a bad run for him. You hope there's still some of that in there where those passes can connect, because he's trying to do the right thing in the sense that he knows where the open man is, but everyone in the building knows he's not shooting that there.
I wonder, because I see in some of the comments people talking about Elias Lindholm, and it's been an okay start to the year for Elias Lindholm. There have been some ups and downs, and I don't know that he was he had the breakaway and he missed the net, or maybe Saros got a piece of
high
it.
blocker. It looked like he missed,
but he's not, he's just been okay. I wonder, going back to last year, it sure feels like those two guys aren't a good fit. And I had said, you got to play these guys together. You got to make it work. And it's the banging your head into a wall. I just wonder, I don't know what the option is, but is there another fit for Lindholm on that wing to maybe get him going? Because if you feel, and you're not breaking the Kadri lineup, is there another possibility or option for Lindholm on that side? And then can you put Huberdeau with Backlund and Coleman?
He played a bit with Backlund last year, and I always feel like if you put anyone with Backlund and Coleman, you're at least going to get one side of the puck figured out, and the rest could kind of be gravy. It's not where I'd slot Huberdeau on a checking line, but it's also like it doesn't fit with Lindholm. You're right, and so was Daryl when he said it wasn't going to work. And the guy that we don't talk about because he's hurt and we've almost forgotten is Jacob Pelche. This is a top 9 winger that they seem to have some vibes. Remember that last year?
Absolutely.
It was like they were homies, and it was like, man, that's a guy. Maybe he can, and maybe we make too much about what province they're from, but it just felt like those two guys enjoyed being around each other, and that's sort of what we're seeing with Zary and Kadri. Not that they're from the same place, but they seem to get the best out of each other. I was hoping that maybe if it wasn't going to be with Lindholm, that maybe he and Pelche could have a thing going, but they're not going to see Pelche probably till the new year.
I know. I think it was clear. You could just see on the bench there was kindred spirits. There was a kinship there, and the French Canadian guys. It was something that was a little bit of familiarity, I think, for Huberdeau in a lost season. And then, unfortunately, for Pelche, you watch all these young guys and you think how good Pelche may have been this season if he were healthy and ready to go. And if there is some kind of spillover effect that helps out Huberdeau, then even better. But yeah, you're kind of, if you're needing Pelche to help Huberdeau get out of the funk, you would think it should be the other way around. But
yeah, it is, but you never know, right? Like no one thought it would be the AHL call up getting on Nazem's line where Kadri's looked like, last year's midseason all-star, but maybe it's coincidence. Maybe that is a great fit. Anything. I mean, I think if you're Jonathan Huberdeau, you just need a little thing to feel good about. And there's been not a lot for the last 13 months.
We can move off of them, but I don't recall even stretches where it's okay. That's a couple good games in a row. It's starting to. No. It's been a rough go.
Secondary power play helpers, right?
Yeah, Greta is it's basically Afterburners home for viewing parties this season. We got one coming up. We're going to tell you all about it. Grab a cocktail, something from the menu. Let the games begin. Maybe you get that Greta game card, your player card, load it up.
Oh, baby.
And get into the game yourself. They got 50 arcade games, vintage to state-of-the-art, 213 10th Avenue Southwest. They are online at gretabar.com. And we have a date booked not that far away, Pinder. We're going to be taking the show on the road.
November 16. It's Thursday Night Football. It's Flames Canucks. It's me hammering 42 Nuggets. Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Thank you. You can join us. It is an unticketed event, so just show up. It's a Thursday. You need an excuse to go and have some fun. Canucks have been great this year. I want to see some Canucks fans there. They should be very vocal and proud of the start that club's off to. They look great. And there's in the comments, November 16th, see Pinder barf 40 chicken nuggets. Maybe 41, maybe 42, maybe 35. Where is the threshold where I puke? We'll find out. They've shown me where the closest restroom is. Nuggets are great. And we still have some decisions to make on sauce and pickles, but we'll get it done.
I'm leaving that up to you. I don't think that's in the ad read, but
no,
if there is puking, it's the puking. If there is puking, it's over. We're ending the Nugget Fest, and you will be cleared. But I don't want this to I don't want to be thinking, all I need to do is puke and then I can stop eating.
No. And our boy Casey, he's very excited about this. He's they do a great job keeping that place clean. If some reason there's a mess, they'll be okay with it. It's not going to burn the partnership. We love Greta, they love us.
Yeah. And it's a good point you make because we were there for the home opener, and that was a ticketed event and stuff like that. Just show up. We want to see you on next Thursday, the 16th. We'll have some grub. We'll have some dome beers, as they call them, and we'll watch the game and watch Pinder eat and watch the football and have a hell of a good time. So make that part of your Thursday plans coming up. I saw on Twitter tonight I think it was our buddy Robert Munich. He's
Bobby Germany
had it. He's had it with the power play.
He's done with it.
He just can't. How is no one seeing this? Is nobody watching these games?
They finish over 3
on. Need my glass.
Trying to see what happened in the third here.
Yeah, over 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We say it from time to time. When your power play is giving momentum to the other team, not only are you not scoring, but then you're giving the other team, okay, that was an easy kill. All right, here we go. And they've got the momentum coming out of a bad power play. I don't, it's not even a blame. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what they're doing is wrong or anything right now. I'll tell you what, it felt like when Coronado was here, he was a guy you were going to be able to use as an off-wing shooter, perhaps. But of course, he's not here now. So that takes a potential weapon away. But yeah, it was not a real threat tonight.
No, and that's been a too common story this year. I think, what did they have, 2 in the season opener? And then there was another game where was it Edmonton? They had 2, but one was a 5-on-3. Like, if you start really looking at it, a lot of games, it's been a sapper of momentum rather than a builder of momentum. And like that road trip was ugly. I think they went 19 in a row without scoring at one point. It was like, and Zeri's going to help, but to your point, you lose a shooter in Coronado, and I think they're still let them figure out the pieces. But again, don't be surprised if a group that doesn't have anyone that's a lock for 30 might not have the most dynamic power play. If you could get to the middle of the pack, I would live with that. If you're sort of looking at this group, and the penalty kill is going to be very strong. They've got great personnel for that.
2 shots on the 3 power plays tonight. Don't need to come back to Huberdeau. 4 of his 14 minutes were with the man advantage tonight too. So no shots there. So I mean, it's not a. I don't know. Have they turned a corner? I don't know. I enjoyed this game.
Playing the good teams, dude.
I enjoyed this game because whatever it is, I guess the end result, if you are on Team Tank, you really don't want to see them win games, then maybe you're unhappy. But it felt like here they had a good first period. They dominated the third period. If you lose the game, okay, then if you want to lose while being in hockey games and playing competitively, I'm okay with that. And then they found a way to win, and I'm okay with that. They're not going to lose 82 games, obviously now, but it's the National Hockey League. The San Jose Sharks are leading Philadelphia tonight. Like it's things happen. You're going to win some hockey games. So go into Toronto and win. What the hell? Win some games. I don't think it's happening for them this year, but it beats the alternative, at least for a little while. 6-game losing streaks, 8-game losing streaks. God. Those are hard to take, quite frankly. And back-to-back wins, get on a road trip. I'll take it.
Yeah, and I think the Rangers are a very good team. They're a cup contender. I think Dallas is a very good team. They're a cup contender. Everyone else they've played is bad or we're not sure about. So, like, again, Nashville is plucky. They work hard. They have a goalie. They're not super skilled. If they'd lost by 1 or won by 1, you're not going to be surprised. What you want to see is the work ethic. You want to see the kids. And to be fair, like, they haven't played very many good teams. That's where this talent deficit's really going to show up in terms of the top end of the roster. Like, wait till they play Vegas. Wait till they go into Colorado on the second half of a back-to-back. This is Toronto's got a lot of high-end skill. Toronto can be down 4-1 and come back and win. Ottawa's got a lot of talent. So you really just want to see a lot of these issues being resolved. They're never going to be super talented, loaded with 30 goal scorers if it's these guys, but can you work? Can you get Huberdeau producing at a normal-ish clip for someone making half of his money? Like, Kadri's got 6 in his last 4. That's great. Okay. And you're really laying the foundation here for what these kids that are up are going to understand. Okay, this is the NHL. What do we do? You don't want to see shortcuts. You want to see work ethic. And I think Huska's completely got that figured out. He understands if it's not going to be good and you're not going to role model how this works in this league, you're going to sit. And if you're going to cool off, Matthew Coronado, we'll send you to the A. And if you're going to keep playing well, we'll elevate your minutes, Connor Zary. Like, they've all of a sudden got a lot of looks that didn't happen in the last 2 years. It's some kids in the system. What are there, 4 or 5 guys that we've seen up? 2 assists for Nick DeSimone tonight. A guy that's played 2 games and has 3 points with the club.
Give me Simone.
DeSimone.
Give me Simone.
Nick DeSimone.
Give me Simone. I'm looking at the comments. Why do you hate? What happened to the rebuild boom? Why do you hate the Flames? Just come on.
Listen, we saw how many wins Chicago had last year over the Flames alone. They still managed to draft first overall for Bedard, okay? You don't want to go 0-82. That will push you to the edge of a bridge. You can win 30 games and have a miserable season. That's a funner way to do it.
Like Warner said, if you want to lose games, don't start bringing in a whole bunch of kids. Because they're going to be so friggin' happy, running around, loving life. Keep the old tired vets in there that all they got their Titleist hats on. They got their Turks and Caicos trips all booked. Those are the guys you want in if you don't want to finish 9th. Peak sadness again.
It's you hope they're not in that mucky middle because I think there's a lot of assets to add to this young group if you are going to hold auctions for these good players that are free agents this summer. That I would understand if the team and the player are like, you know what, this might not be it.
Yeah. Let's do a little hungry for more for DoorDash.
yeah.
It's easy with DoorDash. Don't worry about cooking dinner, running to the store. Let it come to you with DoorDash. For a limited time, you people, our listeners and viewers, can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app. Get the app, get your grub, then enter the promo code NATION25, NATION25, and that deal is going to trigger for you 25% off. Why wouldn't you do it? Little hungry for more. So whether it's good, bad, and different, Pinder, what are you hungry for more of from tonight's game?
Man, it's Connor Zary. This guy's brought a little swagger, a little electricity, and some dynamic play. Like, he walks a D in his first game against Dallas last week, a great effort in which they lose. He's good again in Seattle, good tonight. That line's come to life. He's got the chest paddles to Nazem Kadri, who looks great all of a sudden. You get a 2-point night out of Igor Sharangovich. Keep giving Zary more ice. I try him on PP1 if the power play's driving you up the wall. I want to see more Connor Zary because the early returns, the chef's got a hit here. This is a guy that has been desperately missed in terms of the skill set. High end, making people around him better, making plays, playing with confidence. Not a lot of guys on that list on this roster. Give me some more Zary. I'll take all the Zary, please.
There you go. Once again, that's promo code NATION25 to get 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms apply with DoorDash. Dash that for the win. Crown Royal, little DoorDash. Hell of a night for Connor Zary. I wonder if he knows. If he has any idea.
Well, he's generous and he's hungry. That's he's, all that generosity working up an appetite.
Rob is in the I see in the mentions here. Will Mandeep throw in free beer with DoorDash orders? I'm not sure that's how that works. I think there's liquor laws. I think there's some kind of liquor laws in there. Free beer is the best kind, though, doesn't it? To me, it tastes it always tastes better than the other stuff. BK Beaufort Liquor, that of course is Mandeep. I know. Our buddy Mandeep, family-owned business. You love to support local. You love to support a great family, and that's what you've got with BK Beaufort Liquor. Wine, spirits, craft beer, located on the Trans-Canada Highway across from Winsport beside McDonald's. You know where it is. Stop in, say hi to Mandeep and the folks, and then head off. Are you going to the mountains? Are you going home? What are your plans? It don't matter. Just go and say hi to them. And the price you see, isn't that what he said? The price that's on the sticker, that's what you're paying.
Not jerking you around, dude. We're not hiding any taxes.
Wait a minute. What is this? This is $300 in tax.
What?
They're not going to do it
to
to
right.
you. No, not going to do it to you. On Twitter, at BK Liquor. On Instagram, at BK Beaufort Liquor. It's our buddy Mandeep, BK Beaufort Liquor.
Love them.
Sports sponsors.
Stay tuned. News coming.
Yeah.
News coming. People very excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll know when you know.
You'll know. Yeah. You'll know when you know.
You'll know.
Yeah. Because then you're going to know. Now, you talked about. Yeah. You talked about Zary. Both he and Ruzicka on the power play. Power play 2
second
tonight.
Unit. Yeah. We had Rosie out there with Hanifin, Sharangovich, who we need, Igor, Gogo, we need a nickname, Backlund and Zary.
Yeah.
So once Huberdeau goes to the rafters, I mean, obviously you just slide up there. Oh, boy. I'm joking. Please no.
What did you make of Nashville?
I thought they looked a lot like the team we saw last year down the stretch. It's a bunch of young guys that are working hard, but there is not a lot of skill there. Forsberg is an elite scorer. Yossi's an elite defenseman. Saros is an elite goaltender. After that, it's guys.
Yeah.
And they work. I don't mind them.
Yeah. I was surprised. I've been a fan of Philip Forsberg. Quiet superstar, I think, in the league. Has never led the league in scoring or anything, but he's just, every time you watch him play, he's involved. He's making plays. He'll have 1 or 2 plays a night where he'll either ring it off the goalpost or walk a defenseman, and maybe he doesn't score, but it's a great play, and you're kind of, oh, Jesus, this guy. Didn't see a lot out of him tonight. It was about the second period when he had the puck on his stick. It's like, oh, yeah, because I think he had 7 points in 4 games. He was on a little bit of a roll coming into this game.
Fair. And you know what? Like, that's a guy that you surround with more talent, and like Duchesne, Johansson, some of the others there. Like, find that guy open around the net. He can shoot the shit out of the puck. Like, he is a finisher. And I don't know that defensive centerman Ryan O'Reilly is the best fit there. We'll see how it goes. But, like, hey, you take a Phil Forsberg.
Yeah. And the Roman Josi, again, is
all over.
He is a superstar.
Yeah.
An absolute superstar.
Yeah, and they locked up all three of those guys. And now let's take a look at the kids. Evangelista, Novak. They got Carrier and Fabro. And look, they're kind of trying to do what I think the Flames are going to try to do, which is you got a few guys locked in, and then let's take a look at some kids. And if we work hard, we're never going to be an easy out. That's what you'd love to see happen in Calgary here. If you're going to sell some of these vets, keep a few guys, hope they're good, and look at the kids.
Derek Newman Dean's Real Estate Group, CIR Realty. Whether you're buying or selling, you let Derek do the work for you. Complimentary in-house home staging consultations. Whether it's your first home purchase or you've bought and sold several, he'll take the time to understand what your goals are. Accountable, available, can find homes off market and go the extra mile to hunt down options for your buyers. It's Derek Newman. He wants to dig in and go to work for you. You can email dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call direct 403-619-6661. He'll make it easy for you. It can be a daunting thing. Is this the one? Well, how is this a good price? Well, what's the other neighbor? You let the experts take care of it, and Derek is one of those guys. Because a lot of those, those real estate people, it's like, I don't know if I can trust you. You can take it from us. You can trust him.
That's our boy.
That's our boy.
I'll tell you what, there's some occupations that get a bad rap out there, but you meet our pals from McLeod Law, you meet Derek Newman from Newman Dean's Real Estate Group. Yeah. These are the good people. We got the good ones, folks. Lock it in.
Yeah. I see Trevor there. Dean needs to take Hubie golfing and find out what his goals are.
Goals.
If that's what it takes.
Where his goals are? What his goals are?
Well, yeah. Where did they go? Where did you go? He does love to golf. He's a golfing aficionado. Are there any courses open? November?
I know of a place that's heated that is kind of like golf.
Yeah, maybe we can figure that out. What do you do with it? Because I saw some. Oh, that next is a healthy scratch. To me, that's severe. That's another level. You can kind of sell, because there would be games where guys, I was shit tonight. Fine, sit me. I'm not happy about it, but I have some ownership in it. You sit a guy for a game. That's a big statement. And put on your big boy pants, be a pro. You're making 10 million, get over it. Mm-hmm. But the relationship and just what you talk about goals from the coach. Yep. What are your goals and the player? I'm never quite sure, because that's league embarrassment when that happens.
Yeah, and it's, what's been an issue here for a long time is now, to your point, it's being discussed everywhere. I ran into an executive from one NHL team today, and it was like, Huberdeau, like, here it is, folks. This is a talking point. And I would say that knowing Ryan Huska a little and not a lot, but watching him work, there'd be a conversation about this, and there's going to be an opportunity for Huberdeau to respond. Other coaches might be laying the lumber, the old hacksaw Jim Duggan a few more times. Like, I think Darryl would have no problem benching him and saying, "Yeah, I'm giving you the tough medicine here." But I think Huska allows him the chance to rebound, because I think that's important for him to allow him that opportunity.
I think part of it would be too, you'd have to. Who's on the outside that's deserving of getting a shot to come in? Dryden Hunt is a scratch right now. You know what I mean? It's not like you have legit full-time or NHL guys who are deserving of the ice time more so. It would just strictly be to punish / embarrass. And I don't know that that's ever good.
Well, and I just think it's not about, like, oh, someone's knocking on the door taking a job. It's about, like, you're not performing. We're sending a message about performance. The only carrot I have is your ice time. 0 is the least I can give you. I don't think we're there yet. But if Jonathan Huberdeau comes out and has a worse game in Toronto than he did tonight, that's not a crazy thing to suggest to happen. I mean, this is the relationship. You behave, you get rewarded. You don't, you get things taken away. Like, It's not about forward number 13 for me. They played 3 lines in the third period. They could play 3 lines Saturday against Ottawa. It's about what are there's very few things this coach can do to change the player's outlook. He's challenging him right now.
Yeah. I guess, and we'll move on because I don't think it's going to happen. But I guess just that point that I make is you're not producing, so we're going to sit you. Well, what this guy that you're going to bring in, who was a scratch before, is he going to produce more than I would produce?
No,
that sort of thing.
I agree. I don't think it's going to happen. And you'd have to look. What you don't want to see is him playing worse. I don't know that it can get there, but if it did, it's like that's all you have left to play, I guess, at this point.
I'll tell you, if you want to really kick the hornet's nest or whatever, you scratch him in Montreal next week.
Oh,
because that would be one game he would have circled, and he's played plenty in Montreal, being an Eastern Conference guy. But I would think that's still one that would be on his radar.
And you know what? I think the hard ass, vindictive, screw you coach would. I think Ryan Huska wants to build this guy up and is saying, look, we're getting these straightened out so that when you're back, you can look great. Like Ryan, you want this guy to succeed. It's easier if he's good for everyone involved here.
The Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool is up and running. Go to dailyfaceoff.com. In the top right corner, you're going to see the link there. You hit it, and it'll take you to the Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool. Every single day, you've got some options. Is it a player getting a point? Is it a team getting a win? You select one, and if it hits, then you're alive for day 2. Then alive for day 3. You get a nice little roll going. You keep surviving, and you could win some great prizes courtesy of Wendy's, like the new barbecue bacon cheeseburger. It's got all that smoked bacon all over it, crispy onions, the cheese, melty cheese over the fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. Limited time only for that burger. It's the Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool, brought to you by Wendy's.
Yeah, some of the comments. JBC's right now, Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on those limited time burgers. They're messing with us a bit here. They know they're good enough for full time.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Yeah, I'm in.
Decent.
Yeah.
Decent. What did they, as we're going to wrap it up here. So what will they do, do you suppose, because they're leaving on a road trip? You're going to bring bodies with you. And again, it's a Pike thing. I don't know what the cap is. I don't know what they can or can't do.
Mangiapane will be back, right? That's his one game he served. So you have 2 extra forwards. It's Hunt and him. Gilbert's your 7th defenseman.
Yeah, because D. Simone has been in.
Yeah, and he's a right shot, so maybe I think Zadorov, the big cat, is the big cat. He's a roller coaster. It's an experience. I like the experience with a righty next to him, not 2 lefties. It's just a little bit of help for, the big cat roller coaster. And he's been a good fit. He's got 3 points in 2 games, so I'd expect D. Simone stays there. Gilbert is another guy you've got with you, and Vladar is going to play one of the next 2, I'd think. So maybe you swap a Greer for a Hunt if you want, but I think Mangiapane comes in and someone's coming out, so probably not Hunt.
I know, and it's not about feel goods, but there's part of me that's like, if I'm Conroy or Huska, it'd be nice for Coronado to come on this road trip.
Not Coronado, yet, but sure.
Get Coronado on the team. Toronto, Montreal, those are pretty special places to play. It'd be nice to have him there. And when you're talking about guys that weren't performing, he was in a collection of guys that weren't really performing.
You know what? Like Dubé was just hurt. Ruzicka just missed some time. You like what you've seen early from AJ Greer. You just got Sharon Govich going. You want to see Huberdeau respond. I just don't think this is the right time for it. Zeri's been great. Pospisil, I don't want to see out. He's a big prick. He's not huge, but he plays like a prick, and he's got some size like that. I like the dirt under the nails there. Another element that if Walker Duehr's not giving it to you, this guy. Maybe Duehr's the guy that comes out.
Maybe Duehr is the guy. With how he came in,
he
was like
quiet.
A bull in a china shop last year, hitting guys, running around, getting scoring chances and scoring goals. I have not seen much out of him. Even when Sharon Govich is on that 4th line, he's the least noticeable guy.
Yep. And I think
on
he
that
scored in one
line.
of the first 2 or 3 games, but since then it's been crickets. And
Yeah.
I was a little concerned when he went down to the American League and played for the Wranglers in the playoffs. And the reports were like, yeah, he's just not doing anything. You're like, ooh, sometimes that's tough. It's like, I'm an NHLer. Oh God, like everyone's done for the year. And now I got to wind myself back up for a team I haven't played with since, December or January, whatever it was. But it's kind of like remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Walker Duer was a 3-month supernova, or maybe it's a reminder that he's got to keep working, and that's what made him Walker Duer was the work ethic, because you'd always notice him, and now you're not. How's that happening?
Yeah. We'll get into a couple questions from the viewers, the chat line here in
Peanut
just a
gallery there.
moment. Yeah, that's right. Afterburner is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/FlamesNation and get on your way to being your best self. Sometimes, and I know I fall into this category, you wonder sometimes, what are we on the same team, brain? Because I just know what I'm feeling or the way this day is going. It's not going as badly as it feels to me right now. It's about trying to figure out how you think and how you work. And I think therapy has gotten a bad rap a little bit over the times you lay down on a couch and you talk to somebody. It's not just about talking things out. It's about getting strategies and figuring out and seeing the potholes before they come. And that's what BetterHelp can assist you in doing. You fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapist if the fit isn't a good one, and that's a big part. You got to be able to have some chemistry. No additional charge if you need to switch out your therapist. And then you kind of get into it. Like I say, it's coping skills and strategies to help you become the best version of yourself. If it's hard to find time, if it's one of those things that still isn't really comfortable for you, it's a great option. It's a tremendous option. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/FlamesNation today. You're going to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/FlamesNation. Keeping an eye, obviously, if you're listening to this in the morning or whenever down the road, still 2-1 San Jose over Philadelphia. We'll keep an eye on that before we shut things down. But there's Eric. Predictions for the 3-game road trip.
Ooh, like points wise, like
Yeah,
I think we see both goalies. That's an obvious one. I think they're going to probably use all 7 defense on.
I'm sure he's talking about points would be my guess. It's funny because you look at Toronto, they were getting booed against Tampa Bay until they came back and won the thing.
Yeah, down
Ottawa
4-1,
was getting booed out of the building. I haven't paid that close attention to Montreal yet to know exactly what's going on
They've
there.
been plucky.
But
it's the same as we've seen. They're never like they've been plucky. They work hard under Marty St. Louis, but they're definitely trying to see who are the core guys here. Suzuki is one. Caulfield's another. But what else have you got? It's been quite a journey for Slavkovsky, the first overall pick that played for Slovakia during the Olympic year and that COVID season. It's been a lot of heat on him. I think Ottawa's good. I don't love their goaltending. Toronto has been real loose on the back end, but they also have a player that has 11 goals. That's more than the Sharks had before they dropped puck tonight.
yeah,
and Montreal always is a good game with these two teams, no matter what the standings say.
And the thing of it is, the Flames should not be under any false pretenses that they will be. Oh well, this should be an easy one for us tonight. They know better than that. They know who they are. I think they see what's going on. There's no way they should go into any of those games and feel like this is the easy one.
I would think they're absolutely like heavy underdogs on sports books in Toronto on Friday. I would think they're slight underdogs in Ottawa on Saturday. You mix in the second half of a back-to-back, that's not going to help. And I think they're probably close to even money or maybe slight favorites against Montreal, but they also have a couple days off there, so we'll see. I mean, if you have 3 points here for this group, that's not a bad trip. Remember, they played lesser teams on that 5-game roadie. They only had 3.
Yeah, I think that if it's 3, you're not pumped about it, but I think that's a realistic That's got to be the realistic goal, which doesn't get you into the playoffs. It doesn't take you very far.
No,
but I think that's probably a fair expectation.
You want Vladar to have the shutout in Toronto and Zadorov to lay out somebody. So Treliving, salivate. I need those guys.
Treliving loves him some Zadorov. He loves the big cat. And I had in my notes, they better trade Chris Tanev. They better trade Tanev fast because he's gonna get hurt. He is on the ice all the time. He's getting smashed into the boards and falling down.
Bubble wrap this cat until March. Like, come on, right now.
Father Time is undefeated. I mean, he's in whatever dog years now. And every year,
you know what it is?
3 years or 4 years. Like, oof.
There's one market that knows better than any other what Chris Tanev is, and they're on the biggest heater out of the gate you'll ever see. The goaltending's at like 940. Every fourth puck's going in. Send them to the Canucks right now. Let them get all up in their feels about the Tanev reunion. Jimbo sent him out. Alvin's bringing him back. Like,
he'd be good. He'd be
make
fine
that
there.
deal right now and let him get injured there.
So you're trading Lindholm and Markstrom to Edmonton and Tanev to Vancouver.
I'd give it Edmonton shit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Vancouver, it's like, okay, sure.
Anything else there, Jack? Or have we pretty much where does Mangiapane play on Thursday? I would guess you're just going to put him back on that line with Lindholm. I almost said top, the line with Lindholm and Huberdeau. But the Huberdeau thing kind of, maybe that does kind of change things a bit.
So true, but I do think Huska's going to give him the chance to bounce back. So I think you're going to see Huberdeau, Lindholm, Mangiapane. You keep that second line together. They've been great. That's Zeri, Kadri, Sharangovich. I would think Pospisil goes from the third line down to the fourth into Walker Duer's spot, and you have Dubé go from the top line onto that line with Backlund and Coleman. I like that trio as a third line, and I like the idea of Pospisil, Ruzicka, and AJ Greer as a fourth line. You've got a little nasty in there.
And I've seen his name pop up here too. I like that you've got Klapka just kind of waiting in the wings too, to maybe get a little prime time showing in the National Hockey League.
He might be the next for a call, right? And they got Benny Dimes, our boy. There's a lot of guys you can roll through the fourth line here.
Benny Dimes, yeah,
the healthy Dimes.
That's right. He is the healthy one. It's probably gonna do it, I think, buddies, for tonight. The Flames get a win. 4-2, defeat the Nashville Predators. Is there anything else you wanted to show, Jack? I see something kind of waiting in the wings there, but I don't know if you...
We have the Jack Cam. We're going live?
There's tons of questions coming in, and there's...
Sure, okay.
Johnny Gaudreau's uncle was getting in on some Twitter stuff.
All right.
Really?
Let's start with Johnny. That's juicy stuff right there.
So Uncle Jim...
Jimmy Hockey.
So somebody puts on Twitter, Huberdeau for Gaudreau, make it happen, Conroy. Uncle Jim pipes in, I'm down with that. Then the response, but would Johnny be though? I miss him so much, Uncle Jim. And Uncle Jim says, I think we know the answer to that.
Poor Johnny thought going home would be easier. This family's even more up in his grill.
Hey, Uncle Jim, put the phone away. You're not helping. Get Gaudreau back here.
Uncle Jim.
Left.
Jeez.
Uncle Jim.
Well, and I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of places that you can trade bad contracts and guys that are playing well, but desperate GMs are the ones that make mistakes. And Jarmo Kekalainen, after the Babcock stuff and the run they've been on, I would have a red siren going off when he calls. Not because he's a dummy, he isn't. But this is near the end. GMs get a little squirrely near the end.
Yeah, hey, I'd be down for it. Get it done. Figure out a way. I think there's
Uncle
probably
Jim's
some there's probably some no trades and some things you're gonna have to iron out.
Uncle Jim says it's good to go.
Yeah. How are the golf courses around Columbus? Are they better than? Can you go golfing now in Columbus? Maybe Huberdeau will be up for that. Let's go. Bring Johnny home. That's right.
What else?
He comes back. We'll just pretend like he never left. You're a career Flame.
Right to the rafters.
You gotta do it soon here, all right? That's like 8, 10, 12 games. You got to do it pretty quick here. Otherwise, it's going to put an asterisk in there. Anything else, Jackie boy?
Jackie?
Johnny's wife says no. Fellas.
Not,
Uncle Uncle
necessarily
Jim's been in the
true.
Crown Royal. He'll come back for
True.
sure. Yeah. No, that'll do it. Appreciate everybody for being a part of Afterburner tonight. The Flames have got back-to-back wins. It is a road trip Thursday, Friday. What was it? Yeah, Friday,
Friday,
Saturday,
Saturday.
Tuesday.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, Tuesday. And then back home, and then it's a weird month. They're home for 1 or 2, and then they're on the road again. They got 2 Dallas games coming up. They already just played Dallas, but
They'll be done with Dallas right away here.
they'll be done with Dallas and done with Toronto. The whole Treliving thing will be interesting. We'll see how the Toronto media handles Calgary coming in, especially because it hasn't worked. His signing of the whole Huberdeau deal and that whole thing, his fingerprints are still very much on this team, and he'll be asked about it for sure.
They come in better than they were a week ago. That's the one thing. It's like, oh, those are the kids that Darryl wouldn't play. Okay,
yeah,
but no, the Huberdeau thing has not worked yet.
Hey, Jack, thanks for doing a great job tonight.
Oh,
hey, Dean.
Yeah. Hey.
Take a couple afterburners off. We'll take the weekend off. All right,
you too, buddy. You too. Get your mouse ears on for tomorrow.
We told the kids, pumped.
Going to Disney. Again, I don't want you for any more than maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you are at the park tomorrow during the show, I just need to see what's going on in your life.
I got a baby blue Mickey T-shirt. We got the grays and the blues. We got 2 pairs. Mama and one of the Hellraisers is gray, and I'm in team blue. And then I'll wear the barn burner tee day 2, California Adventure.
Attaboy. Thanks for being a part of it, everybody. We appreciate you. Good night, buddies.
See ya.